Welcome to Khao Lak Lam Ru National Park, a stunning natural gem located approximately 80 kilometers north of central Phuket in Phang Nga province. Spanning an area of 125 square kilometers, this park boasts a diverse landscape. While it features less than 2 square kilometers of coastline along the Andaman Sea, the majority of the park is dominated by lush tropical evergreen montane forests. The park's highest peak rises to an impressive 1,077 meters above sea level, offering breathtaking views and a rich variety of flora and fauna. Join us as we explore the unique beauty and natural wonders of Khao Lak Lam Ru National Park. A short downward walk from the entrance of the national park leads to a restaurant perched on a cliff edge, offering sweeping views of the sea and coastline. The view of lush jungle, combined with the sounds of birds and waves crashing against the rocks below, hints at the adventure that awaits, building a sense of anticipation for what lies ahead. As we stand gazing out over the Andaman Sea, the expansive view captivates us with its boundless horizon. The tranquil waters seem to stretch endlessly, yet, beneath this calm surface lies a poignant reminder of the past. This very scene witnessed the catastrophic fury of the 2004 tsunami, a powerful force that reshaped the coastline and left an indelible mark on the region. At the start of the nature trail, a map offers an overview of the journey ahead. The hike begins with a concrete staircase that descends to the base of the cliff. Due to ongoing construction, park authorities have on one side installed some green shade netting to shield the area from view and preserve the natural beauty of the surroundings. Opposite this, we notice red flowers with ruffled petals and elongated pistils hanging from long stems. Known as Japanese lanterns, these blooms belong to the shrub Hibiscus schizopetalus. This variety is among the more commonly found hibiscuses in Thailand. As we continue along the trail, a sign details the royal legacy of environmental protection in Thailand. It notes that King Rama IX significantly contributed to disaster prevention through his conservation efforts, and King Rama X continues this work with a focus on forest conservation. The sign urges visitors to help preserve Thailand's natural heritage for future generations. As we pass by a tall tree with buttressed roots, we catch our first glimpse of the massive boulders that mark the boundary where the land meets the sea. I wait for my Thai friend and usual travel companion, Dom, who is just a few steps behind me. As we descend, the roar of the sea becomes more pronounced. Here, the path comes to an end, and we must crawl over rocks and boulders to reach a special sacred spot, as described by the park rangers at the entrance. Dom points out that we need to follow the coastline to the right, and our goal, the sacred spot, should be just a few meters ahead. He forges ahead and, before long, disappears from view while I carefully navigate from rock to rock. Yet, I soon lagged behind, absorbed in capturing the scenery on film. At the sacred spot, we discover Roy Taumahatsajan, the miracle footprint. No one knows how it appeared or to whom it might belong, but given the presence of a nearby sacred tree, some suggest it could be a footprint of the Buddha. While I consider it may be a case of pareidolia, the brain's tendency to find familiar patterns in random shapes, it's common in Thai culture for people to revere things like this, with some devotees even applying gold leaf to it. This area of the park is known as Had Hin, which translates to Stone Beach. We now head back to the base of the staircase to continue our hike along the coast. The next sign, titled Stone Beach Eroded by Wind and Sea, explains the intriguing coastline we are now following. This unique haven, sculpted by the relentless forces of wind and tide, is nestled between the granite cliffs above and the shimmering sea below. The beach serves as a crucial sanctuary, with the waters beyond Hat Hin acting as a vital refuge and nursery for young fish, fostering the next generation of marine life. The sign reminds visitors that protecting these nearshore areas is essential for sustaining the rich and diverse marine ecosystem that thrives here. We follow the path as it ascends over a cliff edge. At a bend where the path splits, we come across a cardboard gate featuring the head of a tiger. Unable to resist, we crawl and pass underneath it. A little further along, we encounter a dead tree trunk with mushrooms flourishing on it. One's downfall is another's beginning. A testament to nature's perpetual cycle of life. As we continue along the trail, the next signboard catches our attention with the intriguing question, are those ropes in the trees? The sign reveals that what we're seeing are lianas, woody, vine-like plants that play a crucial role in the forest ecosystem. Anchored in the soil, lianas climb trees or other vertical supports to reach the sunlight in the canopy. On the forest floor, they compete with trees for water and nutrients. Lianas often create canopy bridges, allowing arboreal animals to travel through the forest without touching the ground. These natural bridges also provide protection for weaker trees from strong winds. Khao Lak Lam Ru National Park, while relatively small in size, offers a rich biodiversity and a variety of natural attractions, making it a valuable ecological site in Thailand. The park's recovery from the 2004 tsunami and its ongoing conservation efforts reflect the resilience and dedication of the local communities and authorities in preserving this unique environment. As we crest the mountain ridge, the sea reappears in view. The gentle sound of waves and the sight of shimmering water emerge from behind the lush vegetation, signaling that we are once again approaching the coastline. We pass through a tunnel of fallen bamboo and hanging palm leaves, and emerge to find the path descending. Ropes are strung along the trail to help us navigate the slippery descent. I glance back and realize Dom hasn't been following as closely, so I retrace my steps to the entrance of the foliage tunnel and wait for him to catch up. To our surprise, the path doesn't descend all the way to the sea just yet. As we round the corner, we continue along a lower section of the hill ridge, gradually making our way further down. Then the path splits, one trail descends directly to the shore, while the other continues along the ridge. We decide to take a brief detour to explore the beach. The descending trail is steep and we use exposed tree roots as makeshift steps, while we grip a side rope for extra safety. At the base, a plaque reveals that this spot is known as the Hat Bang Niang Viewpoint. We find ourselves perched on a rocky outcrop, where the sea below crashes violently against the rocks. It's clear that this area is too dangerous for swimming, so we decide not to venture any lower. Instead, we head back to the intersection to continue our hike from that point. As we reach the intersection, our eyes are drawn to a small, lively movement in the sand beside us. Nestled between the grains, we spot a hermit crab, its reddish exoskeleton strikingly contrasted by its dark, black shell. Dom carefully picks it up to get a closer look, then gently places it in a safer spot away from the path. This way, the tiny creature is protected from being accidentally crushed by other hikers who might not notice it. The hermit crab is a fascinating marine creature known for its unique way of living. Unlike other crabs, hermit crabs do not have a hard, protective shell of their own. Instead, they inhabit discarded shells from mollusks, which they carry around to protect their soft, vulnerable abdomen. Hermit crabs have a soft, curved abdomen that fits snugly inside their borrowed shell, which they change as they grow. Their exoskeleton is usually reddish or brownish, and they have 10 legs, 8 walking legs, and 2 pincers. We encounter another signboard detailing the fascinating life of lichens, but we'll save that for our return journey. For now, we've spotted a lizard and are eager to observe it up close. It is a northern forest crested lizard, a relative of the southern forest crested lizard. Unlike its cousin's vibrant green and grey hues with dark bars, this lizard sports a more subdued color palette of dark olive green, brown, deep rusty orange, and black. It has a spike above each eye and 2 smaller spikes above the tympanum, which are less pronounced than those of the southern forest crested lizard. When a lizard bobs its head up and down, it may do so for various reasons depending on the context. In this case, the head bobbing likely serves as a defensive response, helping the lizard appear larger and more intimidating to potential predators. The The northern forest crested lizard features two distinct black spots on the top of its head. These are parietal spots, specialized photosensitive organs that detect changes in light and dark, helping the lizard sense the presence of predators from above. From this point, the trail grows more uneven and rugged, winding along the steep cliffside. In certain areas, makeshift wooden bridges span small ravines, providing a safe passage over the gaps. The jungle trek is an adventure suited for the agile and quick, though others may find it quite challenging, and after rainfall it will be slippy on any inclines. With thunder rumbling in the distance and rain possibly on its way, we quicken our pace and hurry along the trail. It's April, and we're in the midst of the hot season, which this year is intensified by a heat wave. Although we're drenched from the heat and humidity, we're eager to avoid getting caught in a sudden tropical rain shower. As we navigate beneath a fallen tree and a cluster of bamboo stalks, the path gradually descends towards the sea. As we approach the beach, we come across an impressive strangler fig. This vine has begun its fascinating life cycle, sending roots down the trunk of its host tree. These roots, initially seeking nourishment from the soil, grow in number and intertwine, gradually enveloping the host tree in a dense network. Over time, the fig's roots completely encase the host, forming a large crown above. The host tree, deprived of light and unable to survive the encroaching fig, eventually dies and decays, leaving the fig standing as a bogus tree with a hollow center. The trail now ascends again and meanders through some bamboo groves. Bamboo, a type of grass, is renowned for its fast growth and versatility. It features tall, slender stems called culms, which are segmented by distinctive nodes. Bamboo's rapid growth rate and strength make it an essential plant in many ecosystems and cultures. After a short climb, we descend once again, and are rewarded with a stunning view of the beach, framed by the azure blue waters of the sea. In Chinese mythology, bamboo symbolizes longevity and is associated with the concept of invoking or praying due to its phonetic similarity to characters meaning to wish or to express good wishes. This symbolism, coupled with bamboo's durability, strength, flexibility, and resilience, has established it as a symbol of longevity in Chinese art and architecture. Bamboo's ability to thrive in harsh conditions and remain green year-round reflects the idea that a long, fulfilling life involves adapting to circumstances. In feng shui, placing bamboo plants at the front of homes is believed to promote a long life for the occupants. Historically, before the invention of paper, Chinese texts were written on flattened bamboo strips, which were stitched together and rolled into cylinders wrapped in cloth. We arrive at the next park sign, which provides information on buttress routes. It reads, "Canopy trees, towering to incredible heights, need extra support to maintain their stature and to access nutrients in the nutrient-poor rainforest soils." How do they manage this? The answer lies in buttress roots. These large, plate-like structures stabilize the tree and extend outward from the trunk, spreading over a wide area while staying close to the nutrient-rich upper soil layers. This adaptation allows the tree to effectively gather essential nutrients and sustain its towering presence. The tallest trunks of the largest trees with buttressed roots can reach up to 30 meters from their base, with their crowns extending over 65 meters. These broad, buttressed roots possess remarkable acoustic resonance, and in the past, they were kicked to transmit signals and messages across vast distances in the forest. Although we have already progressed halfway, the map provided indicates that if we continue to the end, we will have to return via the main road or retrace our steps along the same path. With the possibility of rain and the approach of darkness, we decide to turn back towards the cardboard tiger gate and from there follow the old trail we saw earlier leading up to the main entrance, thus avoiding the risk of walking back on the main road or the same path in the dark. So, now with the sea to our left, we retrace our steps. Amazingly, even though we're going back the same way, everything looks very different from this new perspective, a bit like seeing the number 6 from one side and a 9 from the other. Arriving back at the last beach of boulders we passed earlier, we now pause to take a closer look. Here, we come across another hermit crab and wonder if it's the same one we saw earlier. It's hard to imagine it covering such a long distance in such a short time, though it looks remarkably similar. Perhaps another hiker gave it a lift? As discussed earlier, hermit crabs have 10 legs, of which 2 are pincers, and 8 are legs for walking. Whilst the pincers are used for various tasks, including handling food and defending against predators, the walking legs help them grasp and pull themselves along. Their small, delicate antennae constantly twitch as they explore their surroundings. Here, we have a southern forest crested lizard, a relative of the northern forest crested lizard we spotted earlier. This species is distinguished by its lighter greenish-gray coloration with dark bars and its longer spikes above the eyes, setting it apart from its northern cousin. If it weren't for the distinctive spikes, the southern forest crested lizard would more closely resemble the oriental garden lizard. However, the oriental garden lizard showcases a broader spectrum of colors, including vibrant greens, Hiding in a fold of this tree trunk is a very pale common Asian millipede, a cylindrical creature that can vary in color from whitish pale pink to reddish brown and even black. Growing up to 10 centimeters in length, it thrives in humid environments such as forest floors and leaf litter. With 2 pairs of legs per segment, it moves in a wave-like motion and feeds on decomposing organic matter, playing a crucial role in nutrient recycling. We're back at the sign titled Lichens, a model of collective living. It asks, do they look like a plant to you? But lichens are not plants. They are a remarkable example of symbiosis, combining 2 different organisms, a fungus and an alga. This fascinating partnership dates back to prehistoric times. In this symbiotic relationship, both organisms provide and receive benefits from each other. The fungus offers a protective structure that shields the alga from harsh sunlight and harmful insects. In return, the alga performs photosynthesis, producing food from sunlight that it shares with the fungus. Through this mutual exchange, both species thrive and survive together. As I caught up with Dom, he pointed out 2 more lizards along the path. The first was a northern forest crested lizard, and the second, a southern forest crested lizard, which has a reddish head, a sign that it is in heat. On our way back to the park headquarters, we come across more southern forest crested lizards. As darkness slowly descends, the leaves rustle in the wind, hinting at the possibility of an approaching storm. The park is home to a variety of interesting wildlife species like Sunda colugos, also known as Sunda flying lemurs, binturongs, Malayan weasels, and Indo-Chinese serows. While some websites mention the presence of the Malayan tapir, this is likely based on historical data, as poaching has unfortunately led to the absence of tapirs in parks of this size. There are over 170 species of birds reported in the park. Some of the less common birds in Thailand recorded here include chestnut-rumped babblers, short-tailed babblers, lesser-crested terns, scarlet-rumped trogons, thick-billed spider hunters, rufous-winged philantomas, and red-crowned barbets. Aside from the lizards we saw, the national park also hosts many other fascinating reptiles and amphibians. Species such as equatorial spitting cobras, red-headed krites, jasper cat snakes, snake-eater wolf snakes, twin-barred tree snakes, spotted toge geckos, Robinson stream skinks, Amboina box turtles, and Burmese bush frogs have all been reported from the park. Here, some false turkey tail mushrooms. These fungi feature leathery, concentric surfaces that form round or slightly curved brackets. They are named after their look-alike, the turkey tail, which typically grows in fan-shaped or rosette patterns rather than being fully round. Both species have thin, leathery caps with concentric zones of varying colors, giving them a striped appearance, with a spectrum of colors from brown to reddish orange. When we reach the intersection marked by the cardboard tiger, we take the shortest route up, which appears unused and is covered in fallen leaves. Another northern forest crested lizard darts away as we approach. Soon we find our path blocked by a fallen tree. Instead of trudging through the leaves, I decide to cross over the tree trunk. Balancing carefully on the weathered trunk, I inch my way across, Dom following a few steps behind me. As I reach the other side, Dom suddenly spots a tortoise nestled in the leaf litter beneath the giant log. It's an elongated tortoise, and I am surprised by its presence. It is a forest tortoise with a distinctly elongated carapace. Its shell is yellow with black striated blotches of varying size and density, with individuals ranging from pure yellow to predominantly black. Its forelegs are strongly scaled, and its beak is only lightly hooked. We leave the jungle, serenaded by the melodies of birds. We realize that it's impossible to see even a fraction of the wildlife that inhabits this reserve in such a brief visit, but we are thrilled with the memorable encounters we've had. As we head back to the car, we hear squirrels chattering high up in the trees, but fail to spot them.